Hello everybody, Mr. LEGO Lover 55 here, and today we're taking a look at possibly one of Ninjago's best value mech sets. This is set 71870, the twin Titan Mechs. Retailing for around $140 US, this set is recommended for ages 12 and up and has around 1,707 pieces. For a theme that does mechs so often, I'm always impressed that Ninjago continues to deliver pretty consistently great ones, and well, spoiler alert, these two very much fall into that category. While we've gotten 2-pack mech sets before, this is the first time we've seen something at this scale, and I very much love the choice to include both of them together. Bundle sets like this are honestly just such a cool idea. First and foremost, I've gotta highlight this poster. The Ninjago Legends sets typically include small posters like these, and this may be my favorite of the bunch. This one takes a watercolor approach, blending warm and cold colors, which works so well with the context of this set. It's a bit unfortunate they come folded like this, but I don't really see any other way they could have included it without shrinking it down. Still, absolutely frame-worthy. Generally, these do such a great job at actually being twin mechs, with the number of similarities between the two, from the near identical head, upper thigh, and arm builds, and yet despite all that, they do enough differently to be their own unique builds. You can tell Kai's is more so meant for brawling, while Nia's is built for speed and agility. Kai's has these almost Oni-like gauntlets, as well as this massive, sort of sci-fi-ish railgun on his shoulder. The beefiness and general tacked-on weaponry and armor just help sell the idea really well. I especially love the way they use this cockpit piece as knee armor. It works so seamlessly. Nia's mech, on the other hand, takes a much more sleek and streamlined approach, being much skinnier and less decked out, though it's not without flair. Also have to point out, this is the very first Nia mech based on her identity as a ninja. You might think she's gotten a ninja mech before, but no, it's only been Samurai X, and honestly, it's about time. She gets this large spear, as well as 2 massive jet boosters, which really give the mech a pop of exaggeration, almost akin to something you'd see from LEGO Exo-Force. To be honest, these really just feel like modern-day Exo-Force mechs, and I mean that in the best way possible. The shaping on both of these is genuinely phenomenal, though not surprising with Ninjago's catalog of large-scale mechs. Both cockpits are able to hinge open to reveal pretty lofty seating for our ninja, though details are very much lacking when it comes to the mech's controls. What's not lacking, however, is the practically full range of motion every single limb on this set gets. The angles are not restricted in the slightest. There's knees, though it's a bit limited with Nia's, ratcheted elbows, waist articulation, and even that rotational thigh movement that was introduced with Cole's Titan Mech. Love the resurrection run this bionicle piston piece has been on, and it works wonderfully here, though if you're too fast with it on Kai's mech, it can disconnect from this mini ball joint. They both utilize ball joint mounted armoring around the waist and shoulders, and unlike other mechs in the past, these really don't restrict arm or leg movement at all, as they adapt pretty easily to changing poses. One thing that really surprised me, however, was this set's customizability. Because these mechs are built so similarly, you're able to mix and match different parts of the mechs. So if you want, you can give Kai's mech the large jet boosters, or Nia's mech the massive railgun, or even swap out the limbs. There's so much versatility between these two mechs, and I honestly wish some of the other Titan mechs had a similar system to this. Even more so than Lloyd's legacy Titan mech, it really feels like these are a culmination of everything the designers have learned about making large-scale Ninjago mechs. And for being the final 2 additions to the Titan mech lineup, I think it's incredibly fitting that that's the case. And speaking of the other Titan mechs, I gotta say, these fit in really well. In terms of scale, Kai's is on par with that of Zane and Jay's, while Nia, if you ignore the jets, is surprisingly the shortest of the bunch. They have color schemes that fit quite well, both utilizing white like all of the others, in contrast to their primary colors. Many have expressed confusion on why Nia's mech utilizes dark blue instead of gunmetal or dark azure, and we've gotten answers from the designers on why this is, and I don't mind those. However, I actually like this choice for another reason. You see, half of the Titan mech lineup uses colors commonly associated with their respective ninja suits, while the other half does not. Zane with sand blue, Lloyd sand green, and now Nia with dark blue. Nia's also bears a remarking resemblance to Jay's, with the canister-like contraptions mounted on the shoulders, in addition to the very slim and almost lanky limbs. And then Kai's actually reminds me a lot of the prior year's Fire Knight mech, also from the Legends sub-theme. And comparing these two sets on value alone, it's genuinely shocking that this set is only $20 more, especially while being at a similar scale and including another full-on Titan mech with a stand. And I absolutely love the inclusion of this stand. You're of course able to pose Nia's mech on it, however Kai's mech has the same slots as Nia's, so if you want, you could prop him up on it as well. Though I think it makes the most sense when you actually give him the jet boosters. The stand is built firm and stable and won't break on any of these mechs. It also features 3 spots to put your minifigures as well as your 2 katana minifigure accessories, as the mechs sadly don't contain weapon storage. And jumping into the minifigures, this set doesn't have a lot, but the few it does have are pretty great. Of course, this set is primarily based on the latest entry in the Legends sub-theme, Duskfall, which is currently unreleased at this moment in time, so I couldn't tell you exactly why there's an Oni in this set. While vastly different than any we've seen in the series thus far, this Oni warrior takes an approach more closely resembling the kind depicted in traditional Japanese folklore. He recolors this hairpiece in white as well as this armor piece in gunmetal for the first time, and even introduces this new horned mask element. Then Kai and Nia both receive these mech pilot suits, which are kind of in a similar vein to the one that Cole got for his Titan mech. Kai of course has red implemented into his suit, along with the gunmetal gray, which is a really uncommon and quite sick color combo to see for him. If he gets any metallic color, it's almost always gold, so it's cool to see him in something a little bit different. He reuses this hood piece, which I was never really a huge fan of on the original Storm suits, however, I think this is actually really fitting for these mech pilot suits. And Nia is incredibly similar, of course rocking the dark azure in her color scheme along with the gunmetal gray, which is essentially just her regular color scheme. Apart from the dark blue. Like Kai, she reuses the Storm suit hood. However, this one is actually a new recolor, different from the one used in 2025. Definitely a strange choice, but one I absolutely don't mind. Both her and Kai also have this new scabbard element that can hold a katana on the waist. This is used in a lot of the summer 2026 Ninjago sets, and it's honestly such a cool piece to finally have, and I feel like for Ninjago, it is especially overdue. However, these figures also have an added gimmick, as these are mech suits not just for Kai and Nia, but also for the Duskfall characters Jin and Mira, whose heads and masks are additionally thrown into the set, allowing you to swap them out with Kai and Nia. The customization and versatility of this set continues even with its minifig selection. I really like Jin's hood here. It's this black mask with a red bandana and horns, and I really hope this is maybe recolored at some point for a future Eren suit. And then Mira's as well is also really nicely done, showing a bit of her hair poking through the hood. But generally, there are very few complaints I actually have with this set. Just when I think Ninjago has outdone themselves or set an impossibly high bar that can't be surpassed, they almost always prove me wrong and release something like this. This set does not disappoint. These straight up feel like modern day Exo-Force mechs, and I think that might be why I like them so much. Nia's especially gives me Sky Guardian and Arrow Booster vibes. Value-wise, these are arguably some of the best priced Titan mechs, only being $10 more than Lloyd's and $20 more than the Legends Fire Knight mech. Even putting aside the 1,700 pieces, the volume of stuff you get makes it worth what you're paying. If you've been invested in the Titan mech lineup, a fan of Exo-Force, or just looking to try out some cool Ninjago mechs, this set is my go-to recommendation. But those are just my thoughts. Does this set remind you of Exo-Force? Are these worthy additions to the Titan mech lineup? Leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. If you plan on adding this set to your collection, consider using my affiliate links down in the description to help financially support the channel at no extra cost. And if you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like or subscribing to the channel for more content like it. But that's pretty much all I have to say, so I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and keep building.